Well, thank you very much for those that are going to tune in to watch this penultimate episode of season 2. So this is episode 8 of the Good New World series, which is dedicated to new science, which is my specific area of expertise. So let's hope I don't screw this up. So again, if you just bear with me, I'm going to share my presentational deck. So this is as you know, the monthly deck that we prepare for the Court of Friendship Association. We are member number 5. When I say we, I meant myself, my TriStar partner, Andrea Wen, and her mother, Linda Zaraya. So this month's August presentation of 2025 is on new science. And specific, the subtitle is called Nuclear Fusion Drives Cosmic Expansion. As you know, those that continue to follow me, is I discovered the twin universe scientific model, which I arrogantly state will one day win me the Nobel Prize in Physics, not because I state it, but because it's the only scientific model that currently, not only qualitatively, but quantitatively, that means it can make prediction, which matches observation of all the current cosmic unknowns, such as dark energy, which is the rapid expansion of the universe, dark matter, which is a rapid rotation of galaxies, missing antimatter, and even the ghostly phenomenon of quantum entanglement. So that is why I arrogantly and boldly state that I will one day win the Nobel Prize in Physics, because if any one of those theories is proven out, then, recipient would be that. But my theory, as arrogant as a state, actually explains all of it. And I said to you, I don't just rely on faith. I write equations, I write scientific models, which are published for my peers to review and confirm whether it's right or wrong. So like I said to you, I put my proverbial neck on the chopping block, and so far my head still remains on my shoulder. But anyway, this month's presentation also takes an excerpt from the knowledge book, and that specific excerpt is, I'll just read it here, is everything in the universe is double. This formula is the scientific formula of the dimension of the almighty energy. And those that have a copy of the knowledge book, that is in Fascicle 34, the scientific formula of the dimension of the almighty energy. And the English version of that book is on page 544. And again, I have to thank the Court of Friendship Association and the Malana Supreme Foundation for allowing myself, Andrea and Linda to participate in these monthly presentations. So let's dive straight into it. So as I mentioned, dark energy explains, or I said, science came up with the word dark energy because they could not explain the current cosmic expansion that they measured. And I said, as I stated arrogantly and boldly, the twin universe model can not only qualitatively, but quantitatively explain, or the twin universe is no longer a dark energy, it is a light energy, because it explains it. So it explains it based on the twin universe perspective on what dark energy is, and the cosmic acceleration of the universe. And the reason why this is important is this was the first predicted calculation that I used, twin universe, which matches observation of the universe. And that's why I said to you, I'm very, very confident that the twin universe is the correct model that explains the reality of our existence, including, of course, the existing of a single omnipotent consciousness, aka God. So what is the twin universe? Well, the ancient knew about it. In the Taoism, thousands of years ago, is the yin-yang philosophy of dark and light, of the polarity of dual existence. And even the Greek, of ancient Greek, knew about it. In fact, before the existence of Zeus came the Titans. Before the Titans came this duality of existence between chaos and Gaia. So the ancient knew about it. It's just that I interpreted it using modern science and modern math, which if you buy my God book, which is published, it contains the new mathematics that logically defines God and the new science that experimentally proves God. So the twin universe is, as I said, a dual universe. The cosmos exists as a pair of identical anti-parallel universes with opposite polarity, sharing a two-dimensional membrane. And that's why it has the twin universe has 10 dimension, which is actually what the string theory, the supersymmetric string theory also has 10 dimension. The 10 dimension comes from the 4 space-time dimension in the positive universe that we exist, in the negative universe, and the two-dimensional membrane upon which the positive and negative universe coexist. So you can imagine them as connected Siamese twins. So I'm not going to go into too highly technical detail, but the CPT is the charge parity time symmetry. As I said to you, is a bit too heavy to go into that, but well, the universe has surplus matter, which breaks the charge parity symmetry, which was proposed by the great Russian scientist Sakharov. He's actually the one that actually came up with the concept of an anti-universe, anti-matter universe. So, even though ancients knew about the duality of our existence, the Russian scientist Sakharov actually was the first to propose anti-matter existence of an antimatter universe. Anyway, the twin universe maintains global charge parity time symmetry with a reverse arrow time. So time goes backward, gravity is reversed in the negative universe. So all contents and processes have equal magnitude, but opposite polarity, including energy mass that produces gravitational repulsion in the anti-parallel universe, which explains why our mutual attached universe is expanding. So current cosmological observation. So when they measured the Hubble constant, which scientists did a couple of decades ago, they were astonished to find that the universe was not just merely expanding, but it was actually accelerating. So for an acceleration, as you know, those that know Newtonian mechanics, F equals ma, you need a force. So mainstream science do not know what this force that's driving the cosmic expansion. So they just call it dark energy, this mysterious dark energy, which makes up over 70% of our universe, content-wise, is the force that is causing the expansion rate. So like I said, current scientific model, standard model of 4 space-time dimension cannot explain this expansion. Not only the dark energy, as I mentioned, constitute around 70, I put it here, 73% of the universe, dark matter, 23% of the universe, and the rest is the normal baryonic matter that we can observe, particle in the universe. But there are actually theories that's proposed that both dark matter and dark energy are actually the same component. They're just observation of different phenomena. So if you take away the dark matter from dark energy, you end up with 50%, which is actually what the twin universe proposed, that the negative energy mass is 50% to the positive energy mass, which is in our universe. So I did the calculation of, well, what happens if everything is duplicated? Obviously, stars in our universe are what gives life to here our existence on Earth. So, and that light is the energy that's created in stellar nuclear fusion. So the negative universe has identical energy mass and processes, but I said in reverse polarity, then there must also be stellar nuclear fusion that occurs, and it does. And I calculate what would happen if we had this stellar nuclear fusion in a negative universe where the energy mass that's created has negative quantity, as I mentioned to you, that instead of attracting mass being gravitationally attractive, is gravitationally repulsive. Now in nuclear fusion, there's 2 types of reaction process. One's called the proton-proton chain, and one's called the carbon-nitrogen-oxygen cycle. Again, I'm not going to go into the deep technical aspects of this. You can, Google it, watch YouTube channels on more advanced explanation of these. But these are the processes that occurs in our stars, within our suns as well. And these energy process liberates 26.7 MeV of energy in each of the reaction cycle, both for the proton-proton chain and the carbon-nitrogen-oxygen cycle. Basically, it converts hydrogen, which is the main fuel of stars, into helium. And in that process, it liberates neutrinos and energy and positrons. Well, you want to know before formation. But as I mentioned to you, our positive universe and the negative universe are actually physically attached, you could say, to a 2p membrane. So even though we cannot observe either side, so imagine two Siamese twins back to back, they cannot see each other because they're looking in opposite directions. So you could sort of give that analogy that we cannot observe the other side of the universe, but we can feel the effect because they're like the Siamese twins, they're attached back to back. So when one Siamese twin has to move, because they're physically attached, the other Siamese twin also has to move. So I calculated what would happen if this energy that's created in the negative universe, now in our positive universe, the same energy is just liberated out into space, and some of it, like from our sun, hits our Earth, and that's what gives the energy to promote the life cycle on our planet. Well, what happens in the negative universe? What happens to the energy that's released in that? But I've said to you, because the polarities change, gravity is repulsive, this has a weird phenomena that it creates the particles that's generated, create gravitational repulsion within each of the generated energy mass particle. So I calculated this, and this equation, again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. You can purchase my God book or read some of my published scientific article, which I published on this exact topic. So the equation is A, which is gravitational acceleration, is equal to pi, the constant, times g, the gravitational constant, times rho m, which is the area mass density that exists on the membrane. So again, if you calculate these numbers, again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I converted the MeV of energy, which is what science used to determine the energy of release nuclear reaction, and convert that and use that within the formula using SI units. So, example, the volume of a fused unit nuclei is approximately 2 to the 10 to the power minus 15 meter, and the gravitational acceleration, the pulse acceleration that you throw in those numbers into the equation I gave you earlier, comes out to 1.6 and 10 minus 9 meters per second. And then again, another formula, which you take from the acceleration, you can calculate the expansion rate formula, which is here, which is the universal expansion rate, U or R, is again pi times G M rho m, which I said the acceleration formula from above here, and you divide it by the speed of light, you end up with what the rate of expansion of the universe is. And obviously, those that know the speed of light is this factor 299 million meters per second. So anyway, you throw all those numbers in again, and then you end up with this universal expansion rate of 5 times 10 minus 18 per second. And again, if you calculate it in the megaparsec scale, which is what the Hubble constant is determined in, then you end up with a number which is, well, using this initial approximation simplified model, it comes out to be roughly 160 kilometers per second per megaparsec. The actual observational measurement is actually 71 kilometer per second per megaparsec. But considering that I use a very simple model and very simple approximation, actually the numbers, yeah, it's a factor of 2. The numbers are actually quite close. And in fact, I refined the factors, the calculation. I refined it using more refined numbers, and actually the new calculated numbers from a twin universe is actually now very close to the 71 kilometers per second per megaparsec. So I'm even more convinced that this is the correct model. So the parallel process in twin universe. So again, I just summarized. In our positive universe, we have nuclear fusion that generates energy wave. In the opposing negative universe, this again, fusion generates matter particles because of the switch in duality due to polarity switch. And in our positive universe, that creates attractive gravity. But in the negative universe, that creates repulsive gravity. And in our positive universe, we measured the Hubble constant at 71 value. And in this simple initial calculation, which I did, I came out with 160 value, which is still good considering, like I said, a very simple model. But I said I've refined that model of recently, and I've actually come out with the value which is actually very close. I think it's around 80, which is very, very close to what the actual observation number is. So again, I've given this formula. My fellow scientists, whoever interested, can use this formula and determine these factors themselves. So I don't hide behind any secrecies. And no, like I said to you, I made these predictions, these qualitative and quantitative explanation and prediction. And like I said to you, I put my head on the chopping block, and thankfully my head is still on my rest of my body. So, I'm very comfortable in knowing that this is the correct explanation of our reality. So key implications of the twin universe model. Well, as I mentioned, I'm not going to go into too much. I'm just going to read this out. So CPT, again, the charge parity time symmetry, the global conservation of charge parity time symmetry between the combined universes, resolving the matter-antimatter asymmetry problem, which exists in current scientific model. Dimensionality predicts a 10-dimensional cosmos with two identical but anti-parallel 4-dimensional space-time universes on a 2-dimensional membrane. Cosmic expansion explains accelerated expansion without requiring mysterious dark energy using only known physics of nuclear fusion. And similarly, dark matter accounts for galactic rotation curves without introducing new particles, potentially unifying dark matter, and dark energy as a single phenomena. So this is indeed an elegant model that explains multiple cosmological observations using standard physics without requiring exotic dark component. So again, my thanks to the Court of Friendship Association and to my fellow partner, world leaders, Andrea Wen and Linda Zaraya, for the creation of this month's presentation on new science. So much peace and love to you all. My Christ blessing. Thank you very much.